Hello everybody, this is SuperFang99. Before I begin, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. It really helps out the channel. Today, we're going to be going through the interlude between the prologue scenario and our first scenario, the Foundation, as well as proceeding on our first embarkation. So, let's move on to it. Talk, the woman commands. I'm a detective with the ICPC, Flint barks back. Flint, leave Flint, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble when they hear about this. I assure you, I will not. And you? She asks, glaring in your direction. You explain that you are independent investigators working with Flint. She takes a moment to read your gaze, presumably to tell if you are lying. She, like Flint, seems low on trust. Finally, after a long baited moment, she holsters her firearm. Flint's hands drop to his sides. You let out a breath you didn't know you were holding. We've been after the Red Glove Man for quite some time. This is the first time we've gotten this close. He seems to have a knack for slipping away. She nods to the two suits flanking her, a tall, athletic, pale-skinned woman and a sharp, clean-shaven man, and motions towards the walls. They keep a hand on their holsters as they scour the perimeter of the room. And who is we, exactly? Inspector Flint asks. You've been wondering the very same thing. Your interrogator has a British accent, but she doesn't seem to be part of any local outfit you've ever heard of. She waits for confirmation from her two subordinates before continuing. All clear, ma'am, the man states. She sighs and crosses her arms. All right, what I'm about to tell you, you cannot leave this room under any circumstances. Am I clear? Flint shrugs. Under penalty of what exactly? Summary execution, she states without hesitation. Your throat closes tight. Even your partner flinches for a moment. Well then, I suppose we don't have much of a choice, do we? He glances at you. You nod. You might as well hear what she has to say. I am Commissioner Taylor, and these are Agents Hudson and Antonova. We are with the Foundation, an international agency devoted to the discovery, research, and containment of objects with paradimensional capability. What kind of baloney? Flint practically laughs, but the woman who calls herself Taylor shows no signs of humor. After the Great War, many treaties and accords were signed, Paris, Versailles, but keeping the peace wasn't their only goal. There were oddities, you see. During the war, things that did not add up. The Foundation's purpose is to find these things that do not add up and ensure that they cannot be used for such purposes ever again. Well, this is a hell of a con you buttons have cooked up, Flint says, but the darker tone in his voice indicates he doesn't even believe himself, and you're inclined to agree. The fact that Commissioner Taylor even knows of the Red Gloved Man at all is proof that she has inside knowledge. You decide that it's more likely she is telling the truth than lying, and ask what she intends to do with you. She paces in uncomfortable silence before finally letting out a sigh. Well, I certainly can't have your investigation running parallel to my own, and you might have information that could be pertinent to our work. So, I say we work together. Work together, or work for you? Flint asks pointedly, his eyes narrowing. She allows herself a smile. You are a clever man, I'll give you that. She nods to Agent Hudson, who produces several badges and hands them to you. You'll be in your own cell of the Foundation, operating under our authority, but with independence. All you need to do is agree to report your findings to us. She locks eyes with Flint, appraisingly. You'll be our point of contact. You ask Taylor what you get out of this arrangement, besides the lifted threat on your lives. We'll hand over the intel we have on the organization the Red Gloved Man works for, and provide travel papers that can get you anywhere in the world, no questions asked, at no expense. Flint eyes the badge like one might an explosive, turning it over and over in his hands. 2 minutes ago you were pointing a gun at me. Now you're offering me a job? Yes. Well, are you in? You pull Flint aside to speak with him in private. The discussion is short and hushed, full of conjecture and paranoid theories about this Foundation and their true motives. But in the end, you decide to accept her offer. If it will help you get to the bottom of whatever is going on, It is the only real choice. Very well then, Taylor explains. The Red Gloved Man is just one operative of his organization, or perhaps its leader, that we are unable to determine. They call themselves the Red Coterie, so named due to the red garments they wear. They are after artifacts scattered across the world which possess paradimensional capabilities, the very same kind of objects you seek to find and contain. We call them keys. You ask Commissioner Taylor what she means by the term paradimensional. Imagine a cake with many layers, she explains. Everything we see and feel exists on one layer, but there are many more layers above and below ours. Something that is paradimensional exists on one layer, but draws energy from other parallel layers. As a result, these keys operate outside the laws of our dimension. Cause and effect. If left unchecked, they can be used to inflict terrible harm on the world. Our job, your new job, is to get them out of the hands of the coterie and keep them secure in Foundation custody. If these keys are as powerful as the Foundation believes, you agree that they should be kept in safe hands. But you cannot help but wonder what this has to do with the disappearances you've been investigating, if anything. Flint locks eyes with you and gives you the slightest shake of his head. He has no intention of telling them. The investigators must decide, choose one. Tell Taylor about the disappearances, or do not tell Taylor about the disappearances. We are going to tell her. Proceeding to Foundation 2. You decide it's best to tell Commissioner Taylor why you were looking into the Red Gloved Man to begin with. Flint lets out an audible sigh. She mulls it over for a few moments, then shakes her head. That is something to look into, but your primary objective is to acquire the keys the coterie is searching for at all costs. Am I understood? Taylor further explains that she will forward any relevant information to Flint's office, with some sensitive details omitted, of course. She will also provide the ICPC with the requisite papers regarding Flint's new position. Oh, and Agent Flint, she says on her way out, addressing him by his new title. Your cell may have the independence to act on their own accord, but do not forget that you report directly to me. I expect you to do so without reservation should you discover anything of import. He nods, only the slightest hint of resistance giving him away. Remove one Elder Thing token from the Chaos bag. Add one tablet token. If there are already 4, each investigator earns 1 experience instead. We'll hopefully be able to get to there soon. In your campaign log, record the cell told the truth to Taylor. Skip to Foundation 4. The next morning, your cell meets at the tea room near Trafalgar Square, where you had originally intended to meet the previous night. Together, you go over the documentation provided to Flint by this Foundation. It's all a bit difficult to believe, if I'm being honest, Flint says, but everything checks out. The travel papers, the job transfer, all of it. Not even my boss questioned it for a moment. I guess we're secret agents now, eh? You agree. Unbelievable as it might seem, it's no less strange than the matters you had already been looking into. Right. Well, I think the best thing to do is to split up. Shanghai is where I grew up. I have connections there I can leverage, so I'll head there first. Where you want to investigate next is up to you. Meet up with me later, and we can figure out where to go from there. The Foundation has several leads concerning the whereabouts of the Red Coterie. One is likely in Inspector Flint's home city of Shanghai, where there has been many rumors about the existence of a secret cabal led by a mysterious woman with a red parasol. In Alexandria, there has been a rash of beastly killings throughout the city. The Foundation has reason to believe a member of the coterie is involved. A string of high-profile burglaries in Buenos Aires has led the Foundation to believe that one of the coterie members is responsible. It is likely a key is the primary target. A member of the coterie has a sanctum in Nairobi. Perhaps there you might learn what they have planned. The Foundation has procured the journal of a prospector recently working in Anchorage, perhaps the site of a key? A coterie agent operating out of Istanbul has already reached out to Foundation operatives. A defector, perhaps. Or it could be a trap. Locals in Kathmandu have reported seeing a spirit matching the description of another coterie agent. A deadly coterie agent has been sighted in Marrakesh. Reports of tomb robberies and strange overgrowth have the local Foundation operatives on edge. A coterie agent has made a name for himself in Havana, where rum and other illicit goods are being smuggled into the United States. Read the rules for embarking in travel and the Foundation dossiers on the next column. Then, when you are ready to proceed, embark from London to a new location. So yeah, again, I won't be going over these in detail, but basically, whenever we want, or when we're ready to embark, we travel from one node to the next one via a connected line, and uh, and it costs one time to do so. If we pass through a green dot, we could play a standalone scenario, spending time instead of experience, or we can just pass through without spending more time. There are also some locations that are red. It does cost time to go there, but if we don't have the ability to actually stop there, then we have to basically move on, spending more time. And of course, we do have our Foundation dossiers that we will read when necessary. And so, let us bring up the map. The map. Here is the map. And we are starting in London. Oops, sorry. So, I have a route planned because I want to do some things that I haven't done before. So, the first thing we are doing is we are crossing the Atlantic all the way to Bermuda, which is at 20E. 20E, the Great Work. The brilliant sandy beaches and azure water dazzles your senses as you arrive in Bermuda proper. Rows of brightly painted homes add to these eye-popping landscape as you travel from one corner of Bermuda Island to the other, asking locals for any possible leads on coterie activity. Check the campaign log. If Tuwal Masai fled to Bermuda, proceed to Great Work 2. Otherwise, skip to Great Work 5. You are almost relieved that your questioning goes nowhere. The lack of coterie activity in Bermuda gives you an unlikely chance to rest and recuperate. For just a moment, you need only to concern yourself with the peaceful stillness of the island. With several days remaining until your next departure, you follow the recommendation of the concierge at your hotel and take the time to explore the crystal caves up near the northern end of the island. Your guide is missing an arm. They illuminate dancing patterns in the darkness with their flashlight as they tell you the story of how the caves were found. You ask them how they lost their arm. I served in the Great War, they tell you. Sometimes peace comes at a great cost. Each investigator may begin the next scenario with an additional card in their opening hand. You may return to Bermuda again during this campaign, but only after playing another scenario. You may embark. Alright, next in our journey is from Bermuda. We are going to Havana, which over here is 28I. I do believe that there's just a scenario there. 28. Yep, this is Dancing Mad. So I will read you the dossier, and then we will. No, actually, I'll read the dossier next time. I need to mark one more time for us going there, so we have a total of 4 time that has passed. Alright, so we are in Havana now, and we will see you next time. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. It really helps out the channel. This has been SuperFang99, signing off.